Where are you? Where are you? Wait.
Oh my God, what's going on? Time to get fucked. Get fucked, get fucked, get fucked, get fucked. We are famous models and we need to sit in the main dining room. What do you think about that?
What did she say?
I'm going to ask them that we are famous models and we need to be sitting in the main dining room,
Are you
not in the corner.
Are you a high fashion model?
I'm very high fashion.
Well,
If you consider ID interview, Barney's high fashion, ID magazine high fashion that I am.
yeah, well, you know what? Maybe sometimes I like to use high fashion models
That's trash.
because it makes them feel important.
But should I say anything or no?
It's kind of pretty in here, I guess.
Okay.
Read this. Did you send him the one I sent you? Send him the one? The last one. Just send that. Just send him a horrish picture of myself. And hope that he will respond.
So we got 4 seats together at the bar top.
Don't you think I'm pretty? Don't you think I'm beautiful?
You're very beautiful. I love you. You're beautiful and you're kind and you are just like my bestie and I'm very grateful.
Thank you so much.
Don't thank me, I'm in it.
Right now, I'd like to welcome to the stage a group of dancers that we have here. They're amazing and they are very talented. They are called the Demi Boys, ladies and gentlemen. When you see them on the bar tops, it instantly means that fun is near. Are the boys here? Boys? Are y'all back there? We have a setup. Can we have a blackout for a Christian setup? All right, setup, go. See, this is the portion of the show where I say, please don't videotape. No, but video the fuck tape it. It's exciting.
Yes, I said it. I said it. What are you gonna do to me? You gonna arrest me? You gonna frisk me? Go for it. I'm waiting for you. Damn.
Listen, little crazy bitch. Get a way to learn how to behave in high society.
This is high society. This looks like trash to me.
We don't want to alienate our audience by pointing our assholes into their faces. Young lady.
Well, I guess we're very Christian, and we probably have a very Christian-based audience, so we need to be a little bit careful of what we do. But at the same time...
So, Andrea, my question to you today...
Can you pass me my champagne?
Yeah. Oh, this is yours, I guess. Or this is yours, because you drank a lot, but that's okay.
Oh. Did I?
Andrea, during your glorious modeling career, which is still continuing, were you ever pressured
My
to
career
be?
is dead.
Oh. Were you pressured
I
to
work
be
as a
skinny?
waitress.
Were you pressured to be thin, or you were just thin?
Well, being thin came naturally, that's for sure.
Did laxative ever help too?
But the laxatives did help at one point, especially when I was
When you lived with me.
and in Tokyo. Remember when I went to Tokyo?
Yes.
And it was just, the models there are very skinny and a little bit shorter. So with my 6'1" frame, I had to fit into Japanese sample size.
Wow.
So I was starving myself. Oh God, like crazy. I had one of my really good friends from Canada was there, Brandon, and we used to. Well, we didn't have that much money either because they only gave us $100 allowance a week.
Wow.
And everything in Japan is extremely expensive. Like you go to a supermarket and an apple is $10. And so we, maybe we should.
The gods have spoken. You see the light?
Well, that's what happens in production, I guess.
Brandon was a model too?
And so we would starve together and throw up together and...
Really?
Yeah, it was intense. And we also didn't have that much money, so you couldn't really eat. But there were these clubs that would allow models to come in and then give them pizza. Give them like kind of coins, and then you can use them for drinks or you can use them for pizza. And so we would have pizza there, and that's all we would eat for the day. And then at one point we didn't have enough money, so we started stealing toilet paper from the club.
But what kind of a treatment is that to inflict upon people's children?
Yeah, well...
But I guess you can say, I can go back if I didn't like it.
Well, so a lot of girls don't have a choice. A lot of girls come from like...
Russia.
Yeah, like small villages, Russia, Romania. And you go, and then it's pretty intense. I mean, they don't really explain everything to you. Like
they end up owing money.
Yeah, a lot of the time.
They're there to save their families, but they end up owing money.
Yeah, that's what happened to me the first time. I cried so much at the end of it because after 2 months of work, I thought I was going to make a certain amount of money. In the contract, it said something like 15,000 or something. But when they took away the apartment rent for 2 months in Tokyo, which is extremely expensive, and when they took away all these deductions, I ended up going home with like $300.
I remember you
after
told
2
me
months. Oh my god! And then the second time I went, I was a little bit more famous, and then they cast. They cast me in both the girls and the boys' clothes jobs
in Tokyo.
Because my Japanese agent called my New York agent and was like, "How do you market Andre? Like, how do you do it?" And then he just figured out he should just do for both. And then they loved it. Like a lot of the Japanese clients just hired me as a girl, and then I made a lot more money.
Second time, or this is the
The
first?
second time.
So
The first time I just was doing boys' jobs.
Okay, so the second time you were able to take some money back with you. Okay, that's good.
I managed I think it was 10,000 or something. Yeah. After a month's work, that's good.
Yeah.
But they like very baby faces as well. So there's a particular kind of look that does really well in Japan.
Like doll-like.
Doll, like Valley.
But you were certainly baby face because you were a teenager.
Yeah, but they like very nothing square.
More now.
They like kind of
Round.
yeah, like really like little baby.
Apparently the baby look seems to be working everywhere.
We're covering a lot of bases, that's for sure. And I think that we need to stay open to the idea that we're angels in some way.
But
You know?
wasn't devil an angel too in the beginning? In the fairy tale?
In a fairy tale that must not be named. I feel that a truly progressive sentiment exists very much in a certain kind of milieu, would you say? I like that word, milieu.
Milieu? Is it French? It means better in French or something.
I thought it meant like a social class.
Oh, probably.
So, but I guess you have to kind of keep rising above that
Yeah.
to a certain extent. Do you feel that you can rise above it? Do you feel when you were working in your restaurant and folding
Silverware.
folding silverware and things like that, how did you feel?
I have to say, it was hard and frustrating. At the same time, it felt good it was liberating to be not being held hostage in the fashion industry while everybody dangled job in front of me day in, day out, and gently or abruptly pulled it away and canceled me or released me. And there's a lot of that seems to be going on, and you're supposed to always feel insecure in the fashion world. That's how they have power over you.
Yeah.
And that part of it, being in a restaurant, was liberating, that I was not waiting and selling myself short for these kind of...
But don't you also think that the fashion industry occupies too high of a position in our society, almost like sport in a way, like I think we focus too much on it because in these, I'm not saying people that there are lots of very talented people in the industry, lots of very creative people, but they're not gods. And also, you know, what do you walk away from a fashion show learning, or what does it really express? What does it really say? I think creativity is more powerful when it has something to say, and I don't feel that a lot of these people have a lot to say. And
well, it's
maybe they have a lot of talent, but what are they actually really saying?
What does it even mean?
What is it?
Because at the end of the day, it comes
Because
to selling garments and profiting.
Right, but I think that it's valid. Like architecture is, you know, that's how I would compare fashion and architecture, because it's not as much feeling. It's more about construction out of form.
Right.
And I think they're necessary industries, but I also think a lot of young people put too much into this world and expect too much.
Fashion world?
Yeah, expect too much from it, lift it up too high. Whereas they should probably be focusing on their own creativity and going beyond that, you know, learning about history,
finding their own power.
Right, reading books, reading Oscar Wilde, who we were talking about the other day, who is on a much higher level creatively than, say, Riccardo Tisci. You know, but not to say that Riccardo Tisci doesn't have a lot of talent, he does. But is he on the same level creatively as Oscar Wilde? I mean, I don't know. What do I know? I'm just a dumb blonde who dyed her hair brunette in order to be taken a little bit more seriously.
Yes, and look how sad, how like the ending of Oscar Wilde, how sad and tragic was for a person who challenged a lot of norm in society, and they had to be silenced and destroyed.
The English elite wanted to remove him and silence him because he wrote The Soul of Man Under Socialism, so he was a socialist and he was gay. So a little bit like Federico Garcia Lorca, such a divine talent that the elite ended up destroying. That's what the elite does often, it destroys great artists, because great artists usually go against the establishment. They have to, in order to create the best work.
They challenge their ways.
Yeah, there's a quote that says, great art, the greatest art is incapable of not being revolutionary. So by nature, even if, say, the artist doesn't have the most progressive politics, let's say, or maybe he even isn't a socialist or a revolutionary in his politics, in the art, to get to that point where, like, you create the, you know, defining masterpiece, you have to challenge the status quo. It just does, automatically.
Yes.
And so...
And if you challenge that establishment, you are ought to be silenced, just like Julian Assange, Chelsea Manning, and so many, many, many others.
Many others.
Yes.
Who we need to be appreciative of much more. Maybe young people need to look at Julian Assange and Chelsea Manning a little bit more than they do at the fashion shows. And this is certainly coming from a model that, you know, started. I'm grateful for the opportunities I've had in the industry. But, you know, we can go beyond ourselves and also say things about the world. You know, not everything has to be self-serving. And
since we've mentioned Chelsea and Julian Assange, it's important to say these people are not criminals. What they did, they exposed war crimes of the American military machine.
They exposed crimes. They're the ones who exposed the crimes.
Now, people who committed these crimes are walking free and getting millions of dollars.
And playing golf.
and having hot hors d'oeuvres
Yeah,
and
like
highballs.
like pigs, like swine, bathing in the blood of the people, while the real heroes are in prison and being tortured. Well, Chelsea Manning is out, but Julian Assange, whose life is being destroyed, and Chelsea Manning's life is almost destroyed.
But imagine her being in solitary confinement for
7 years.
7 years. How can you survive that emotionally? And that was the whole idea. If we can kill her, let's drive her.
Break her mentally.
We can. That's how you break someone mentally. And I wish her all the best. As a trans sister, we're proud of her. As a human being, we're proud of her.
Yeah, we are, and that is one of the greatest people of our community. You know, that is like the Alan Turing. Is it Alan Turing? The guy who cracked the German submarine codes. And he was gay, and in the end, he was rewarded by being thrown into prison.
Yes. So, but like in our community, the people in entertainment are only awarded, over and over again. But someone like Chelsea Manning is the one who's the real hero. They should be
We're
awarded.
just saying sometimes the people who get the most awards don't necessarily deserve them the most.
Yes. And Chelsea Manning's cause was for a greater humanity.
And sometimes the real heroes get shunned, and we only know who they are, or we recognize them long after they're dead. But what we're saying is maybe we should recognize the real heroes right now.
Exactly. Like, it's great. Okay, great. And you should reward people in our community in entertainment, but you should not eliminate somebody so heroic who actually her cause was greater humanity, not just for self-serving and fulfilling. So there you have it. You do the comparison yourself. And now, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for a little dance, hunty.
Should I put some music on? Should I put some music on?
And that's the yes.
It's not a goddamn pageant.
Which brings us to transsexual post-op vaginal pleasure intercourse. And if so many of you have probably questions about it, and you are going to get your answers without even being afraid to ask people. I mean, okay, we're both post-op trans women, which means
Do we have
vaginas. Now, for some reason, we were encouraged not to talk about our bodies, but we feel that
That's oppressive.
that's oppressive, and we feel that we want to share this information with you. So when I had my sex change back in the day, not that long ago, because I'm a baby still, I felt liberated sexually for the first time in my life. Sorry. Because I did not enjoy myself sexually with another man if they were interested in me having male genitals. So I never ever really had sex with anybody.
And a lot of the time that's part of the deal, you know? Men kind of want to fetishize us and want this whole like exotic fantasy of breasts and a penis.
Exactly. And this is fine if that's your gig. Here, we're not here to put that
Or judge anyone.
Judge anyone, but we're just speaking from our own experience. And that when I started having sex after my sex change, which I didn't wait. I should have waited longer, but I didn't want to. I felt that my body and my mind and my soul were in harmony for the first time ever.
Well, how was it your first experience?
My first experience was a bit, it wasn't pleasant. Just like any virgin, their first experience isn't all hunky-dory, you know what I mean? Because my doctor told me I could have sex after 6 weeks, and I rushed to have sex with a boy I was in love with at the time. And, but it was painful, and I bled, and
But you liked it too.
well, I was so fulfilled about losing my virginity as the way that my mind and my soul felt that I should. And then after a few weeks of having sex, I started enjoying it, and it became amazing.
I remember when you would explain it to certain people, and you would say, you know, when it went inside, it was just like, you know, a kind of relief and a kind of I guess, you know, maybe it's a release of tension as well, like to have something inside of you.
Well, it was certainly a release of some sort, and also it gives me satisfaction that my body now was a way for me to actually enjoy a man that I could never have and had crushes on all my life, because they wouldn't want me because I was physically a male, and that just completely went out the window. So for those people who actually say things about us having a sex change, being disfigured or deformed or not being able to feel pleasure,
it's wrong, because actually we can, and I can also orgasm too, and it's lovely.
and the orgasm's major.
And you know,
And we can just actually orgasm right now in front of you.
oh.
Ah!
Ah!
Okay. I think that's too much information for you, bitch. But you know you love it.
No, but I have to say, the first time I was hurt, it hurt a lot, because my boyfriend was very well endowed at the time. And it was really
Which one was he?
intense.
Whisper.
And,
Work.
And, but you know, I just took the pain.
Because she
There's
loves.
no pain, no gain.
That's
And-
right.
And you know, you need to stretch it out in the beginning. It's very small.
And then it stretches out eventually.
And certainly, yeah. I still think it's quite tight, but I try my best to open up and breathe and do a lot of breathing exercises and really relax. And then I loved it. I felt like a teenager being popped. And
That cherry was being popped, girl,
And-
and it was good. And for all you queens out there fantasizing that that's what it feels
we
like.
feel that there's a lot of gay men that would like to have,
That experience.
and then they take their anger out on us. Just
Thank
because
you.
They don't have that.
Just because we are getting done.
Well, God,
Oh, sorry.
Don't be too indecent about it.
Oh, now you're talking about decency? You realize what you're wearing, young lady?
Well, God damn it, I need it. I need to show some. I need some pleasure in my life.
Why do you have to be such a whore?
I don't know how else to be. I
Have some decency, for God's sake! Is that decency?
No, I'm just a sweet
Get
young
over here, bitch!
We're just trying to keep it together.
But it's not easy.
Well, it's hard. This life is fucked up, and this world is really crazy. So don't mind us
Because this world has driven us
to some kind of insanity.
insanity.
But at the same time, I think that we are kind of cute in that way.
You're so cute. So, anyways, one more point that I have to... One more point I have to make is that a lot of people love to say, oh, you guys have no feelings down there. Well, girlfriend, let me tell you something right now. We do have feelings down there because our sexual nerves that are attached to the tip of the penis are kept intact
and reformed
into a clitoris. Yes, I said it.
Not reformed, revolutionized.
Yes, I said it, clitoris. And then it takes 6 months for those nerves to come back alive and start twinkling and blinking and sending signals. And girl, that signal is powerful!
Our bodies were revolutionized by the latest in scientific research. And we feel just so goddamn good about that.
Oh,
that
it's so
we
good.
are an example of modern day science.
Wait, when that dick is pounding you, bang, 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 bang. I'm telling you, Queen, that feels great.
Oh my God, I can't even describe to you.
For us, from Mars!
It's good. It feels good.
Give me, as Brittany said, give me
Because
more.
you know this life is so hard, and you just need to
get
find
fun.
a man that will just pound you.
Non-stop.
And take the stress out.
And you know, it took the stress out of our anuses because we didn't have to do that anymore.
Ew, I hate anal sex.
Me too.
It's
Have you
gross.
had anal sex lately? Ooh, yeah. Have you had anal sex lately? You know you have. Ooh,
Because everybody's
yeah.
doing it.
So there you go. Clarification firsthand from post-up transsexual beauty.
We're some of the most beautiful women in the world, and you treat us like trash.
How dare you?
But we love you anyway, because that's how big of a heart we have.
Yes, and you treat us like we're jokes. But you know what? The joke is on you, motherfucker. Because this is all real! It's real!
Okay, well, we will leave you.
For now, because we need to masturbate and come back. I mean, not masturbate each other, but masturbate ourselves. Don't get it twisted, motherfucker!
Yeah, we're ladies. We're just sweet little ladies in New Orleans, exploring culture and trying to have a good time.
Because life
has put us through it.
And now
And
you're
so-
putting us through it.
You fucking evil piece of shit.
Just write that motherfucking check and send it over!
We need it.
Because you know, honey, this ain't for free, honey. This does not come for free!
The only way of loving me, baby, is to pay a lovely fee.
I like that.
No, we're giving you so much free stuff when you think about it. Like,
No, we're just kidding when we say pay it. Because you know what?
freedom is about freedom and freeness and
having empathy and sharing.
and hopefully we live in a world where everything is free one day. Education should be free.
Free!
Medicine should be
Free!
free. Clothing should be free. These are basic human needs.
Hallelujah! Hallelujah!
And so should we. We should be free as well. We love you.
But it costs money to be pretty, you know?
But it shouldn't. It should be free. Pretty should be free. And it should be shared. And everybody should be beautiful.
Who said pretty hurts?
Nobody. Only the man that got left out.
So,
Only my ex-boyfriend.
so next time, I just want to say before we go that take your own power. Don't stay on that motherfucking Instagram and look at filtered pictures of people and feel sorry for yourself, bitch. Because that ain't real. Be real. Have
There
empathy.
is more to life than Khloe Kardashian.
Who?
Just saying.
Okay.
Get out there and live your life. Fight for the revolution.
Say what you have to say.
Fight for an idea.
Don't be afraid.
Lift yourself above personal misery. Because the world is waiting for you to fucking get it. to go.
Wake the fuck up! Stop watching Fox News and CNN and believing that propaganda machine!
Even the New York Times.
Or New York Post, for that matter.
I love you. Mwah. Are you praying for social justice?
I always pray for social justice, but I feel like we're not going to see it anytime soon.
But you seem very like working, like dining in a very fancy restaurant.
Yeah, but we stole the money, so we're not paying for it.
Where did you get the money?
There was a wallet on the street, and we took it, and it was some cash in it, so here we are.
And you thought the best thing was just to have some nice dinner?
Right, I think we both did. Yeah, because we deserve it. And now we need some duty.
Are you happy?
I'm being as happy as I can be.
Are you living a happy life?
Well, it's hard, you know? When you don't have money, there's a lot of struggles, but I'm trying.
Yeah, but what is life without money?
It's a struggle.
And what does it do to you? How does it make you feel?
There is a constant anxiety and worry that what's going to be next. I think that's what most people feel too.
Yeah. Like where are you gonna end up?
Like, yeah, what's going to happen to me? Am I going to have money to pay rent? Am I going to have money to buy food? It's like, oh, it's scary.
It's like perpetual anxiety.
Perpetual, whatever, yeah.
Well, hopefully the revolution will come soon.
Are you
But
happy?
because people
How about
shouldn't,
you? What's going on with you? Are you happy? Are you
but
like,
people shouldn't be reduced to that.
what?
People shouldn't be reduced to worrying about money.
But, I mean, you have to, obviously, you're going to have to pay rent and your
But
utility.
that's right, but that's because capitalism made it like that.
Yeah, and it shouldn't be like that,
Because
but
it's a basic human right to have.
capitalism tortures like general citizens.
But it's a basic human right to have housing. It's a basic human right to have money for food. That's basic.
I agree with you.
Well, I want to know. I want you to know that I love you, and I think you're fun, and I think you're sweet.
Thank you.